I need a 30 for 30 to show that I'm different like Jordan and Pippen. I need a 30 for 30 like Jalen and Webber. Nobody gon' fuck on my click. I need a 30 for 30. What it is, folks, your homeboy Ferg back again with another episode of The Realest.
Yes, sir.
Most entertaining sports show in the game. Put it on some. Yeah. I'm very proud to have my brother, Tim G. Jacob, with me as always. T, what the business is, man.
If the people thought we stopped, we didn't. It's just life. Life works like it works sometimes, man. But we's back, and we got a whole lot to unpack.
Got a lot of America. Apologize for our brief hiatus. My mother was in the hospital all last week. Shit real. You know what I'm saying? I'm my mother's caregiver, so I had to take care of that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But we back on it. You know what I'm saying? We were staying abreast to everything that was occurring in sports world. Even through that, you know what I'm saying? We ready to get back on. You know, we apologize for that brief hiatus. But before we get into it, I gotta tell you, make sure you fuck with Statement Tees. That Statement Tees, every t-shirt you wear makes a statement. You see the statement I'm making right now? We got Juneteenth approaching. You know what I'm saying? From 1865 to 2021 to right now, we are still fighting. Ain't shit changed. We're still fighting for complete freedom in this motherfucking country. You understand? So go ahead. If you're trying to make a statement about your fight for equality, for freedom in this country, y'all fuck with us. Go to statementteesllc.com, or you can just simply follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and inbox us, DM us, and you know what I'm saying, place your order for whatever statement you're trying to make. Not only on this, but whatever statement you're trying to make. You understand? But T.
Yeah.
That boy Prime Time was on I Am Athlete, and we really fuck. I really fuck with I Am Athlete. I think you fuck with I Am Athlete as well. Shout out to Brandon Marshall, Ocho Cinco, Channing Crowder, Fred Taylor. These brothers that have put together a real good podcast. You know what I'm saying? They're the competition, so y'all make sure y'all fuck with put it on some first. That's but right. Then y'all go fuck with I Am Athlete.
That's right.
But they put together some good shit. And Deion Sanders was on that motherfucker.
Right.
And the same shit that we've seen from Prime all through these years, we saw in that interview. The charisma, the gift of gab. Like when I hear Prime talk, a lot of times I think, damn, this must be what it was like to see Muhammad Ali talk live. Cause this motherfucker is just so charismatic. And I think about now with him being the coach of Jack State, how this motherfucker must be when he recruiting a kid. Going in there with that. You know what I'm saying? But it was one part of that interview that really stood out. And it's when Channing Crowder and Prime. And shout out to Channing Crowder for this. I really appreciate this, actually. He didn't pull any punches. He told Prime to his face that he did not believe that HBCUs, in particular Jackson State, could do the same thing for an athlete that Power 5 schools can do. Channing Crowder say he went to Florida. He just was like, I don't think they can do the same. From the facilities, the dorm rooms, the training tables, the amount of motherfuckers that's in the stands, the amount of eyeballs you got on you from the standpoint of scouts.
Yeah.
He just was like, y'all just can't do it. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
And so they had a great back and forth on that. So just wanted to see, T, what was your reaction to what you saw in that moment with Channing and Prime going back and forth like that? With Prime, he called Prime out. You know, Prime went to Florida State. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I personally, I like what Prime said. What Prime said gave me hope from what he's trying to do. And I hope he get it done. But what were your thoughts on that?
I appreciate Channing for challenging Prime because I think everybody there kind of was, you saw different roles. Like Brandon was kind of the one that kind of kept things moving, facilitating, asking questions. Chad was the one kind of was talking that yang yang because him and Dion they know each other a long time. Then Fred Taylor was just kind of like, well, I want to ask you this, just kind of he was just kind of chill. Channing was kind of more, I ain't buying that. You know what I'm saying? Which is good, especially in a conversation type, like a discussion like that. You want somebody to be the polar opposite, the devil's advocate, whatever. So that was really good, and I appreciate Channing for bringing that up. Just
Mhm.
looking at it for what it is today, and hey, how can you do this when y'all don't have the bag? Let's just say it like it is. It's the bag. You don't have the bag. You don't have the bag to do that.
They slick tried to avoid that, by the way.
Right.
That's why we us. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? That's why
Right.
we do.
Right.
They don't have the bag.
They don't have the bag.
Fuck all that dorm room shit.
Yep.
They ain't got the $250,000 just to drop off to these kids.
Yeah.
They just put it bluntly.
Yeah. And so it's I did appreciate what Deion said in terms of being the conduit for change and everything. Uh I guess what I took from it was two things. I think Channing he stuck to a lot of what was physically there that the school could give him. And that's okay.
Mhm.
But I think a lot about what culturally it can give a kid.
Mhm.
Sometimes just being at the HBCUs culturally can give a kid. And what Prime is saying about being able to relate to the kid better and being able to give the kid the type of things they need in terms of coaching that PWIs can't give them, and making them men and such.
Mhm.
I kind of wonder sometimes, like, how many guys roll through and holler back at Saban after it's done. You know what I'm saying? Like, would they have that access to Saban? And I've seen stories about Saban having young men over at his house, some of his players at his house, and his wife does a thing year after year. I think it was like a yearly thing before the season started, where they have a group thing and they bring kids over and feed them and all that and they entertain them and just kind of just being not Coach Saban, just Nick Saban,
Mhm.
and that's great, you know. But it was a very good conversation and it was rightly needed because we've even kind of questioned how long is it gonna be before Dion moves on, and what's the change gonna really look like. And to me, I take from that interview, just in the time that I watched it, that maybe Prime will be around for a while. Maybe he will be. Maybe it's not gonna be lip service. Um, Maybe he'll be around here for 8, 10 years. I think we kind of talked about it in times past about like WC Gordon and will he be that guy?
Now, deeper on in the interview,
Mhm.
one of them boys, maybe Channing, maybe Fred, somebody. No. I think it would be Marsh. Cause B Marsh like to throw in some messy shit during
Yeah, I
the
think he even
segment.
said he was gonna be messy. This the part you're talking about.
B Marsh went ahead and asked him,
Hmm.
and Prime
Hmm. I'm gonna make
kind
my
of
I'm gonna make my opinion. I'm gonna make my yeah. I'm gonna make my decision. Yeah.
Prime did the damn Dion dance around that motherfucker
Right.
question.
Right. He did.
But
He did. He did.
I would hope so. I would hope so. That's when you become legendary, like for real, for real.
Yeah.
I can see him being legend. If Prime, let's say he does win the swag next year, which we should. We're gonna get into this later on, probably next week or something about like just the difference in just in terms of the rating in between Jackson State recruiting class and everybody else in the swag. They should win the motherfucking swag.
He should.
But if they win this swag and Prime get a nod from a Power Five, and he go to some Power Five that struck, kind of like remember when Mississippi State gave Kroom the gig. They were
Mm-hmm.
coming off sanctions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They were coming off like maybe not coming off sanctions. I think they were in the middle of fucking sanctions.
Yeah. From Jackie Sherrill, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I would hate to see that happen to Prime. He go and flame out. See what I'm saying? Whereas he can do what you're talking about, stay, be a legend, change the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that shit would be truly. He wants to be a conduit for change.
It's not gonna happen overnight.
The opportunity is there. It's not gonna happen overnight.
No.
You gotta get a lot of buy-in. Gotta get a lot of bags flowing. Gotta get a lot of boosters writing checks.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a lot. You know what I'm
It's gonna take a
saying?
lot. It's definitely gonna take a lot, especially in this climate. And and that's what leaves me that hope out there. I ain't gonna say a little bit. It leaves me the hope out there that maybe this is something that Deion wants to see through 10 years plus. You know, if he stuck around for 10 years or better, I mean, whatever he does after that, I mean, he deserves it. And hopefully it'll continue on from that. Now, would we love to have him around for however long we can have him around? Yes, for sure. I'm sure all Jackson State fans would. So, but I do appreciate that challenge to and B Marsh too, asking him, hey, if they call, they come calling, you know. But now,
Real shit.
yeah, but I mean, he said on record, it ain't about money. Yeah, I got that. I'm good on that. It ain't about legacy, fame or whatever. I'm good on that. Everybody know me, so it's cool. But man, I guess the question is, do we consider how do we measure him after all the talking he's done? That's kind of where I'm at with Deion. It's like what do we want to see? Should we be seeing in the next 5 years? Where Deion came in and said, I actually put my foot in the ground and made an imprint here, and this is the kind of throughput I've made for these young men.
You got to be
Like,
dominance. You
I
got to be
mean,
dominance. Got to be winning. And from the winning, there should be you can get some of these guys a look.
right.
We shouldn't have a draft where nobody from HBCU gets drafted.
Right.
We shouldn't have that, especially when we see guys from FCS going top 5. Yo, boy, Trey Lance is from an FCS.
Yeah, he is.
From a fucking FCS.
He is.
So if you telling me a boy from the FCS, Kyle Shanahan and all them boys saying this man has wowed us. We got Mel Kiper saying this guy is different.
They consider the North Dakota State like number, if it's 247 colleges, or how many other teams it is in Power 5 football, or just FBS football.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're like that team below that. Like they consider them the powerhouse of the FCS.
Well, Jack State got to be there then.
And
As of right now, Jack State got the number 70 recruiting class in all of the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck FCS, the nation, period.
Right. Yeah.
So if that's the case, Tony Boy got to go ahead to get a look.
They got to get a look. Now, I remember we've said, the kid from Alabama State, Titus Howard, was drafted just 2 or 3 years ago, first round.
Mm-hmm.
So Alabama State was able to get him through. Now, how that happened, somebody had to have seen the tape to say that this kid was worthy of being a first round pick. So maybe it's not happening enough, and I'm sure of that it's not happening enough. I mean, we seen Lance Turner from Alcorn 2 or 3 years ago. He got an undrafted deal with the Ravens, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And so I was kind of like, oh snap, could he break through? But he never really broke through. And I think Lance Turner was a nice running back. I think he could play. I think he really could play on the next level. I don't know where he is right now, but you just it's gotta be more of that. And maybe Deion can leverage his position and his stake in the league and who he is as a football legend to bolster that situation some. So I mean, it was a damn good interview. Anybody out there who didn't get to see the interview, you got to see it. It's really good. It's entertaining. Him and Chad, they stupid. Them two, they're ignorant. You know.
I would have loved to seen that matchup because
Yeah.
Chad got some points.
Mhm.
Chad feet was serious now.
Oh, they was. Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Chad feet was serious. I prime the GOAT now. I ain't saying that.
Mhm.
But that boy Chad got some of the best feet I've seen on a wide receiver.
Mhm.
Like he said, he don't like to get touched. Like Devontae, Football America, if you watch the Green Bay Packers play, you see how Devontae release off that line with that footwork.
Yeah.
That's Chad.
Yeah, it's Chad.
That's Chad Jones.
That's Chad.
So now Prime say he was gonna introduce him to these motherfuckers.
Mhm.
He'll put them motherfuckers on him.
Mhm.
So that would have been lovely to see. But them two of the most charismatic football players. Prime, undoubtedly, probably the most charismatic football player. That boy Chad ain't short stopping.
He there, man. He right there.
That motherfucker right there.
He right
So
there.
it was a great interview. I saw in that interview everything that excited me about Prime being the head coach, Jack State, the charisma, just that aura of him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hoping that it's translating to this off-season regimen, the actual working of a coach.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? The actual day-to-day shit of coaching. I'm hoping that's all translating and that he actually can be a conduit for change. You know what I'm saying? So, America, y'all tell us what y'all thought about the interview. If you haven't watched it, make sure you check it out after you watch all of the segments and put it on something.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and check out that I Am Athlete with Coach Prime and tell us what y'all thought about it. Put it on something. My kids wanted me to tell y'all to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me across all social media platforms, like the videos, and share them. Did I forget anything?
And turn on the post notifications.
Y'all heard them. And also, visit Statement Tees, LLC.com and shop with us. That's Statement Tees. Every t-shirt you wear
Makes a statement.